everyone, all across the world, all across India. I can see that everyone has joined. Wonderful. Welcome to this interesting and enjoyable session. I'm pretty sure you're going to learn a lot of things after this session. So before I go ahead and before I start, I would like to tell you, if you really want to master the art of business without doing MBA, this session is a must for all of you. Even for those who are planning to be entrepreneurs, who want to grow their business, who want to be good employees or employers, this session is a must for all of them. So let's start this beautiful journey, beautiful session, right? At the end of the day, these sessions will definitely give you a chance to impress your interviewers, to improve your RC skills. Right, let's go ahead. So I am Shruti Kaura class. I am an award winner at Unacademy. You all can have a glimpse of my award. And of course, iconic program is 1:1 program. I would like to see all your faces one day on this slide. Moving further, my code through which you will get the discount at Unacademy if you're planning to enroll at Unacademy's Plus or Iconic program, use the code as Kaura Live. Now, there are 2 subscriptions as I just shared with you, Plus and Iconic. For that, if you really are planning to enroll and if you want to use the discount code, this is the discount code. Use it wisely. Start your journey to the most prestigious and the most wonderful EdTech channel, that is Unacademy. Let's start. Now, leaders are always readers. And how you can impress your interviews, obviously, when you have a knowledge, then only you will be able to speak. See, the person who can speak a lot and that to a meaningful content is considered intelligent if and only if he or she is well read. So, in order to be well read, please go ahead, become an avid reader, as I always say. And let me answer one more important question for all of you. Can reading make you rich? No doubt, like CEOs, you can read a lot of books, but this is a very unique question. Can reading make you rich? Yes, absolutely correct. Right? A survey by some company has proved that 85% of self-made millennials read 2 or more books per month. 85% of self-made millennials, they read 2 or more books per month. So, a CEO on an average reads 60 books per year, that is 5 books per month. So, you can see that 85% of self-made millennials read 2 or more than 2 books per month. Now, the book that we are going to cover today is The Personal MBA by Josh Kaufman. It's an international bestseller. You all can have a look at this book, The Personal MBA, Master the Art of Business. It has got the practical business knowledge in it. Trust me, you will feel energetic, you will feel overwhelmed, and you will feel as if you have learned some concepts which can make you an expert in business. Let's go ahead. Now, this is Josh Kaufman. So what happened, class, when he completed his studies related to some technical field, right? When he completed that, he got a job offer from P&G, that is Procter & Gamble. And he got that opportunity to work as an assistant brand manager. So I just shared with you, remember, focus on the line that he was doing some technical studies, right? And he is now appointed in P&G as an assistant brand manager. So what happened exactly? So, when he started his new position, when he started his new role, he started working with the people who already had MBA degrees. And not only they had MBA degrees, they were from the top universities. And Josh, the author of this book, didn't have an MBA. So, he was unable to justify, he felt, it was his feelings, he felt that he was unable to justify his job. And he now can't go back to school to get an MBA degree. So what happened? He started having some self-realization. He started doing some research and he realized something important. He realized that a person should have business and marketing skills. if that person plans to be an entrepreneur tomorrow, even if he wants to be a very good employer, he needs to have very good business and marketing skills. And he also wanted these skills because he was appointed as an assistant brand manager in P&G. So what happened next? Did he do the MBA? Did he actually, go ahead? Let's see what happened next, how the story unfolds. Let's go ahead. So, he really got obsessed when he realized that a person should know these business and marketing skills. He really got obsessed. He wanted to learn these skills by any chance. So he decided that he'll pursue MBA from a top university. Like all his colleagues were MBAs from top universities, he also decided that now he will pursue an MBA from a top university. So what happened? Did he actually again go ahead and he did that? So he started doing research. So after researching and analyzing logically, he realized that people go to colleges for namesake, just to get the degree. So, this was, according to him, was not much fruitful. He thought that it could be a waste of time and energy, of course, resources and money too. So, now, earlier the picture was, I shared with you that Josh was obsessed to get these skills and he decided to pursue an MBA. But now, I'm showing you a picture where he did some research, he did some analysis, and he realized that degrees just for the name's sake. These colleges are doing an MBA, and according to him, it could be a waste of time, energy, and resources. So he chose some better option to learn these skills. My God, what is that better option to learn these skills? He wondered. He now, at this stage, he is not sure that if MBA is not an option, what alternative could best serve him, or what best alternative he could pursue. At this stage, he is not clear, but he knows that he needs these business and marketing skills. So he started wondering that if there is any way he could master the fundamentals of business without getting an MBA degree. So now he is sure he does not need an MBA degree, but he wants at any cost, he wants to get the fundamentals of business. He wants to learn these fundamentals. My God, it's similar to that you want to do something, but you don't want to do it through this way. And for the timing, this is the only option that is available to you. It's similar to that. Oh my God, it's a fix. He is putting all of us in a fix. It's a big conundrum. Let's try to solve this. Let's go ahead. Now, when he researched some top business people, he started researching some top business people that didn't have MBA, that they haven't done MBA. He started researching because ultimately he had plans to do some big things in his life. He had plans to grow big. And now he had already, forsaken the idea of pursuing an MBA. So now he started doing the research of all those big people, big business people, or the biggies who haven't done MBA. And he came across a brilliant investor named as Charlie Munger. So now who is this Charlie Munger? Right? Charlie Munger is a business partner of Warren Buffett. Oh my God. The man who made fortunes from the stock market, isn't it? So he realized this thing that Charlie Munger didn't have an MBA and he is the business partner of Warren Buffett. My God. He is also among the list of the richest persons of the world. So what happened next, class? He decided to do MBA. Then he dropped the idea of doing MBA. But still he wants business knowledge, but he's not ready to do MBA. And now he started researching some big business people who have not done MBA. So he came across a brilliant person, a brilliant businessman, Charlie Munger, who was the business partner of Warren Buffett. And together they developed the Berkshire Hathaway company. The company called as Berkshire Hathaway into a $400 billion, business. You can imagine, $400 billion business company. They both have turned that Berkshire Hathaway into this big company. And Charlie Munger didn't have MBA. So what? So then, according to Warren Buffett, why he chose Charlie Munger as his business partner? What was the reason? Come on, MBA is something which is a prerequisite if you want to enter to the business world. But now, what are we looking at in this session? It's also giving a very different perspective. So, according to Buffett, Charlie can analyze and evaluate any kind of deal. So, imagine that you and your business partner, and your business partner is not MBA, but you are saying about your business partner that he can evaluate, he can analyze any kind of business deal. So he can not only analyze, but he can analyze and evaluate the deal faster and more accurately than any man alive. My God, that's a kind of a big thing. This is really not a small thing that he said about his business partner. He said, Warren Buffett said that my business partner Charlie Munger can analyze and evaluate any business deal faster and accurately than any person alive. And together they turned that company, Berkshire Hathaway, into a $400 billion company. So, Munger, did he get some formal education in business? Maybe he could be from a business family class. We could think like this. Business could be in his blood. If he didn't pursue MBA, this is what we could think. But let me clear your conceptions. Let me tell you that Munger didn't, of course, he doesn't have any formal business education. He is a meteorologist and a lawyer from Omaha. He doesn't have any formal business education. He is a meteorologist and a lawyer from Omaha. And everything he knows about business, he taught himself. That means somewhere he was again a self-made person, or rather a self-made business person. So what did Munger say? Munger says that he is able to understand business and make important decisions just by using a lattice work of mental models. When this person asked Munger, or according to Munger, like how he is so good in analyzing and evaluating any business deal faster and accurately, he said that he uses certain lattice work of mental models, some fundamental business frameworks. Please note these pointers very carefully, all of you all across the world, that he was able to analyze and evaluate any business deal based on certain fundamental business frameworks. And he is using these lattice work mental models and this fundamental business framework to outsmart the competitors. How Warren Buffett made this big claim that he is actually doing it faster and accurately than any person alive in this world, because Charlie Munger himself was fully confident of his capabilities, that he is using these mental models and business framework to outsmart his competitors. And Josh got inspired by Munger. Anyway, anybody can get inspired by Munger. So Josh also got inspired by Munger, our author. Then, now he understood that he needs the right mental models. Now he understood that if he is planning to follow the footsteps of Charlie Munger, he also needs these right mental models to outsmart and outperform his MBA colleagues. After all, at the end of the day, he was selected to work as an assistant brand manager in Procter & Gamble. Anyway, we all pass college, we all get placed in some companies, but when we start working, then we realize certain things, and the same thing happened with Josh. Now Josh realized that he needs these right mental models in order to outsmart, outwit and outperform his MBA colleagues. So what happened? He started doing self-education. He went to the library. Now, why library? Let me tell you, if you believe that you can study in your room, in your hostel room or somewhere where there are a lot of distractions, your phone, your iPod, your iPad, there are a lot of things, television, radio, anything, even your gaming console, they could be there in your room and they could be easy distractions for you. You could easily get distracted by these kind of things. So in that case, it's better to study in a library. So trust me, that is why it's written here, he went to the library, because he knew that's the only place where he can study. So he started doing self-education. He went to the library. Oh my God, he started reading all the business books that were available there in the library. Imagine, create pictures in your mind class. Look at some person who is determined to do something and he is not ready to follow the traditional path. He is doing something which is so non-conventional. And so he started reading a lot of business books. Then what happened? After some time, his knowledge became far more than his colleagues. He outsmarted and outperformed his MBA colleagues, right? Even his, it is actually said that even his knowledge became more than the professors of the MBA college. So he started seeing recurring patterns in the book. After some time, when he has read so many available business books now, he started analyzing and realizing that, oh my God, now the information has started getting repeated. And again, he can see those recurring patterns. So did you see the importance of books, class? That is why in these YouTube sessions, I'm taking a lot of books. I'm going to give you an insight on the highlight of these successful business people. So that is why it's very important for all of you to attend these sessions. Look here. He went to the library. He started reading books one by one, one by one, one by one. He read hundreds of books. Oh my God. And after reading thousands or hundreds of books, he started realizing now the information has become repetitive. And it's not only about repetitive. He saw that there are recurring patterns. Every book is hinting towards some common framework. Wow. So, this repeated information is most important for any business. He came to know, he realized that this recurring pattern, this repeated information is definitely most important for any business. Even if we talk about the Pareto Principle, that is the 80-20 principle, 80:20 principle, what this principle says that it is the 20% knowledge which is going to give us the 80% results. In the sense, I read some hundreds and thousands of books, but out of those hundreds and thousands of the books, it's only that 20% knowledge that's going to give me 80% results. So that is what we call Pareto Principle or the 80:20 principle. He also realized the same thing. Wow. So Josh gathered this repeated knowledge one by one and he wrote a book, class. So while he was confused whether to do MBA, and now at that time he decided that no, let me follow the footsteps of Charlie Munger. So whatever information he got in those hundreds and thousands of books, that recurring pattern, those repetitive information, he gathered that, class, and ultimately he compiled that information into that book. He wrote one book that is called as the Personal MBA by Josh Kaufman, right? So this book was named as the Personal MBA, right? Now, what he discovered, that's very important for all of us. At the end of the day, it's very important for all of us to know that what exactly he discovered, what gold he got. Did he hit a jackpot in those books? What about that jackpot? What is the content inside that gold jackpot, that golden jackpot? Right? So I think he hit gold. And that is what we are going to study about, that gold which he got in those books. So he discovered an important thing, that the heart of every business is some 5-part framework. I'm repeating again, class. what he discovered in those hundreds and thousands of books. Imagine yourself, tomorrow you're also going to be, employees in some organization. Even you are going to face that situation, and somebody is sharing something with you which he has actually gathered by reading some hundreds and thousands of books. So he ultimately summarized those learnings into 5-part framework. Now, what is that 5-part framework? So the 5 parts of this framework are value creation. Everybody start jotting it down. Value creation, marketing, sales, value delivery, and finance. I'll repeat once again. Value creation, that is the first one. Marketing, sales, value delivery, and finance. At the end of the day, marketing, sales, and finance are already there, that we all know. That is, value creation and value delivery are also there. But this seems easy. This seems simple because the author Josh has made it simple, but trust me, it's not that simple. It's not that easy to understand the nitty-gritties of business. It's not that easy to comprehend the things in such an easy way. Otherwise, Josh would have definitely impressed his clients and colleagues. Now, according to Josh, if any of the part out of this 5-part framework is missing, then you don't have a business. If any of the element, if any of the part is missing among this, in this 5-part framework, so then, of course, that is not called as a business. So the first is value creation. What do I mean by value creation? If I just speak in plain English, it's creating a value for the customer. But how? What is the point? How am I going to touch exactly at the core of this particular part in the framework? What it is hinting? Let's go ahead. A venture that doesn't create value for others. For example, let's say you have a business. Any one of you, I can see your comments as well. If any one of you, right, is running a company or plans to run a company, or definitely even if you plan to work, you have to create value for your customers. And if you're not creating value for your customers, you're just simply pursuing your hobby. So a business that has got no value creation, it's a pure hobby, it's not a business. So you should learn to differentiate between a hobby and a business. This is a question I think most of the time people ask, and the one who's answering interviewee and interviewer. So interviewer fails to answer the question, or maybe they could have answered it, but most of the time the difference between a hobby and a business is that if you're not creating value for your client, for your customer, then it's a pure hobby. It's not called as a business. Next, a venture that does not have the second part, the second element, that is marketing, it's a flop. If you're not doing marketing for your business, it's called absolutely flop business. So there is no marketing, it's a flop business idea, because at the end of the day, people are not going to come to your home to see. If you're hiding your product, if you're feeling that let me hide my product, nobody is going to come to your home to see your product. So if your product does not have that, marketing, so it's a flop. Next, sales. Any venture that does not sell the value it creates. If you're unable to sell the value, you're creating some value, you're giving some value, right? And at the end of the day, you're doing some marketing for that value creation. But you are giving the value, you are creating an attention in the market, you are creating a buzz in the market, but you are unable to generate sales out of it. What's the point of it? It's a non-profit. So if there are no sales in your business, it's a non-profit business idea or venture, right? If there is no value creation, it's a hobby. If there is no marketing, it's a flop. If there is no sales, it's a non-profit. Next, value delivery. I have created the value, I have marketed that value, I have converted that value into sales, and now I am delivering that value because I have got an order. So I'm delivering that value. So venture that doesn't deliver what it promises, come on, then you are running a scam. All of you who are doing that, you're running a scam. So business that does not have a value delivery, you don't deliver what you promised. You promised me to deliver in 30 minutes. Yes, which pizza I'm talking about. So you promised me to deliver that pizza in 30 minutes, but you didn't do it. Come on. It's a scam. You didn't deliver. And you said that if I fail to deliver you in 30 minutes, it will be total 100% refund. But you didn't do that. You started arguing. So it's a scam. You're not delivering the value. Next. A venture that doesn't bring in enough money to keep operating. It will inevitably close one day. Any venture, any business where you are unable to sustain it, where you are not generating enough money to keep your expenses under control, to keep your to generate profit, you are unable to operate your business. So it will inevitably close one day. So if you are unable to make money in your business, it will ultimately be closed. This is what Josh has clearly mentioned. First of all, he mentioned about the 5 parameters, that is value creation, marketing, right, sales, value delivery and finance. Then he said, if there is no value creation, definitely it's not going to be any use, it's a hobby. If there is no marketing, it's a flop. If there is no sales, definitely it's again what it is. It's a scam or what? I want you to know. Absolutely correct. It's a non-profit. If there is no sales, it's a non-profit. And if there is no value delivery, that means in that case, that's a scam. Because you promised something, but you didn't deliver. And at the end of the day, if you're unable to keep your finances, your expenses under check, under control, then definitely it will close someday. Next, how to run a successful business with the help of this framework. Now the idea is that we have analyzed our business on all these 5 parameters, this 5-part framework. Now the question is that we have understood these 5 parts of this framework. But how to run a successful business with the help of this framework? Right? Let's say anyone out of all of you, right? One among you or someone decided to run a successful business based on this framework. How he or she going to do that? And no doubt, if we do our business on this 5-part framework, we'll be better able to analyze our business. We'll be better able to make decisions. If we have decided, or if we decide that yes, I'm going to do the business, right? Tomorrow, let's say any one of you decides that I'm going to do a business and you are ready to actually analyze your business on these 5 parts. So what will happen if you do this way? You'll be better equipped to make good decisions. You'll be equipped to take better decisions. You'll be able to analyze your business much faster and in accurately. Now, you could be an employee, you could be an entrepreneur, you are planning to start a business, it doesn't matter. It's not like that this is only for those people who are planning to start their own business, they could be entrepreneurs. No, it's not only about that. You could be an employee, you could be an entrepreneur, but all these parts, all this framework is definitely going to be helpful for all of you. If I talk about value creation, right, I understood in plain English it means creating a value, but what that exactly means? Actually, when I am going to touch this first element, the first part, which is value creation, I need to ask this question to myself. What is that question? Are we creating something people will actually pay for? Am I going to create something that people are ready to pay for? They are ready to shell their hard-earned money. So are we creating something so unique, so important, so vital that people will actually pay for it? So the first thing, class, that I need to understand here is that when building a successful business, it's very important to understand that what drives people to buy a product. In the sense, value creation is a second thing, class. It will come later. But the first thing that I need to understand is that if I am creating a product, right? What product should I create? So is it actually going to drive people to buy a product or a service in the first place? Are people actually going to buy something which I am going to create? Or first, before creating a product, what is going to drive them to buy that product? Here, some elements that come into picture is convenience and high fidelity. If you talk about value creation, it is linked to two parameters, that is convenience and high fidelity. They are two very important concepts here. Now, what do I mean by convenience and what do I mean by high fidelity? Convenience means I have designed some product. It has to be quick, reliable, easy and flexible. Did you get the point? Value creation, what did I say? By value creation, I mean, let's say I have designed a product and I am going to give value to my customer. I am going to create value for my customers. So first parameter that I have to keep in my mind is convenience. Is my product or service quick, reliable, easy and flexible? Second, the aspect here I need to keep my mind is that are people ready to pay premium for convenience? If it is so convenient, if it has got quick, easy, reliable, flexible, are people going to pay a premium for that? Yes. And that is why companies like Instacart, a company that does grocery shopping for you, it's going to do the grocery shopping for you. It exists in the marketplace. It could drive the grocery store and it could pick up, your own groceries. But they choose to spend an additional $10 to have their groceries picked. What am I doing? I'm giving them order. They are going to the market, picking the groceries for me because I don't have time. But am I ready to give them the extra $10? Yes. Because they are not only picking up, they are getting it delivered to me. So the company, what they said that they are going to pick groceries for you. And the next offer they gave to you is that we could also deliver at your place, provided you shall get extra $10. So this is what you call convenience. The next parameter is high fidelity. What do I mean by high fidelity? It's related to the looks, the aesthetic appeal of your product or service. And has it got that high emotional impact? High social status. The three things that are there in high fidelity are attractive looks, social status, emotional impact. So an example is Apple computers. So people pay for Apple, and in fact they paid premium for Apple because they love the way the product makes them feel. They love the way the product is designed. They love the way the product adds a social status, a good number of stars to their social status. So that is what we call high fidelity, emotional impact, looks, and of course social status. A good example is Apple computers. They worked on these 6 class and that is why they are so successful. However, you can make a product or service that makes life easier. I can also maybe I have created something which is not so visually appealing or aesthetically appealing, but then it has made my life easier, right? It makes me feel special. But still, there is no guarantee that people will pay for it. You have created something, oh my God, it's going to make my life easier. It's going to make me feel special. Still, do you think people are going to pay for it? In the case of Apple, people did. But in case of Segway, did people pay? Let's go ahead and find out. So what is a Segway? It's a two-wheeler which can auto balance, right? So the people who built this Segway, they were sure, they were very confident that it would revolutionize the transportation industry. Even Dean Kamen, he invested $100 million to develop Segway. Imagine $100 million just to develop this two-wheeler he thought that could revolutionize the transportation industry. So it was launched in 2002 and they expected it would sell 50,000 units in 1 year, because just now I shared with that the Dean Kamen invested some $100 million. and he was expecting that it would sell around 50,000 units in 1 year. But you know, even in 5 years, forget about 50,000 in 1 year. In 5 years, the sale was only 23,000 units. My God! Now the question is that it is convenient, has got high fidelity, it is easy, flexible, reliable, it has got that attractive looks, it is adding the social status, it has got that visual appeal, then why people didn't buy it? It is well designed, it's functional product, because the market simply didn't want it. People were not ready to pay this premium to buy this product Segway. So rather than taking a long amount of time, rather than taking something for a lot of years, rather than hiding for a year and creating something that you think will appeal to people, or it will, people will value it, you should build an early version, that's we call the beta version of a product, and measure customers' response to it. And then let's say your product has got certain shortcomings, you can make some incremental improvements to your product until it's good enough for people to be willing to pay for it. You have created a product, right? Let's say there are some shortcomings in your product. Start making some incremental changes. And let's understand that if we are going to make these incremental changes, are people willing to pay for it or not? Rather, what Big Comment did, he waited for 1 year. He thought that I am creating a product which is going to be a hit in the market, but the opposite happened. Apple could be a hit, but Segway was not that big hit. No, people didn't want such costly two-wheeler. So ideally, you should do a market research before creating a value for your customer. So there are 10 important factors for market research, right? And you can rate them on the score of 0 to 10. That's our Gen C, right? Of course, you can understand by the name. Market size, right? For that particular product or service. Pricing potential. Cost of customer acquisition. Cost of value delivery. Ultimately, if you have created a value, you have to deliver it as well. Uniqueness of offer, speed to the market, how fast you can do it, upfront investment, how much, upsell potential, which other product can you sell with that particular product. If it is a razor, right, or if it's a shaving cream, can you upsell your razor? Then has that product got some evergreen potential? For example, if you create a product, right, if you're working from 9 to 9 to 9 job or 9 to 6 job, you're getting paid for it, or you are creating something, you are being paid for it. But let's say you write a book, that is your product, that has got an evergreen potential. People will be ready to pay you for that. So if you have score is less than 50, right, you have actually analyzed all your parameters on the score on the scale of 0 to 10, and let's say your score is less than 50, please drop that idea. If your score is more than 75, go ahead, it's a good idea. If your score is between 50 to 75, it's okay. It's okay for your household expenses, but it cannot make you a billionaire or a businessman. So do a market research before creating a value, and value creation has got two components, that is convenience and high fidelity. So now your idea has passed the market research, it has passed the test, and now you know what people want. Now it's time you create the value. Now you are sure that you have created a product that people want. You have done a market research. Now create the value. So how can you create the value? Now if it is a product, sell it higher than the manufacturing cost. If it is a service, then definitely, like consulting or teaching, make sure you price it accordingly. If it is a subscription, let's say you ask people to sign up, then monthly, you said that first month could be free, right, or 2 months could be free, and then later on you can start charging them, for example Netflix or any other. So value could be created in the form of products, services, or subscription. So at the end, if I talk about value creation, learn what people need. First, go ahead and find out what people need and create that only. If they don't need it, please don't create it. What happened? I gave you two examples of Apple, that is Apple Computers and Segway. You have realized that create what people want. So after creation, if you will give more value, that means more result. So in short, more value means more result, and then your business can grow. The next factor is marketing. Is there any question, class, that I need to ask myself for this element? Yes. How well are we attracting and holding our customers' attention? How are we, actually attracting our customers' attention? So when Apple launched the iPod, my God, yes, I got attracted to that tagline. But what was that tagline? They told the world that this device would be 1,000 songs in your pocket. That tagline stole the world. This statement, this idea was remarkable. 1,000 songs in your pocket. So I'm talking about marketing, that is attracting the attention. So Apple attracted the attention by giving the tagline 1,000 songs in your pocket. So what you are doing? You are violating my expectation. I was not expecting some product with 1,000 songs in my pocket, but you are giving it to me, so you are violating my expectation. So I actually paused and thought and take notice of the new product. I take cognizance of the new product. I paused, because imagine there are so many products. There is a bombardment of every, here and then, every new product. Every day we see so many new products bombarding our brain. Do we actually pause and take cognizance of that? Do we actually notice that? No. But look what happened in the case of Apple. So in case of marketing, just like value creation I shared with you, there are certain parameters you have to keep in your mind. Similarly, for this, marketing, what do you have to keep in your mind? Apart from the value creation components of convenience and high fidelity in marketing, you have to make sure your product is remarkable. Then only your product or service will be able to attract attention. Second, your target probable purchaser, that is your target audience. Third, please don't tell your customer the features, right? Aapka product kya kar sakta hai? People are not interested in that, but aapka product service kaise unke liye useful hai, how it's useful for them. That is what they are interested in. So focus on the desired end result. Then of course the hook, which is also called as the title or the tagline. As in the case of Apple, it was 1,000 songs in your pocket. So the sentence, think of a sentence that tells the major benefits of your product, as the case is Apple iPod. Last, what do you want? You have created a hook, your product is remarkable, right? At the end of the day, you have focused on the desired result too. You have actually targeted the right audience. Now there is a call to action, that is the next step. What do you want your customers to do? Either they should go to the website, sign up for a free brochure or something like that. So where can a customer get that product or services? And the last one is reputation. So branding is very important, because with brands, people are not afraid of scams. Reputation builds over time. So in your case, let's say you are in some foreign country, and there you see a very reputed restaurant, maybe KFC, Domino's, Pizza Hut, or McDonald's, any one of them, right? You saw one restaurant or maybe one fast food joint. On the contrary, in some other direction or just nearby, you saw some other restaurant, but something is written in a cryptic language or in a different language on the signboard of that restaurant. Did you go to that restaurant? Will you go? Ideally, you are not going to go in that restaurant. You will prefer a brand. That is the value of a brand. That is the value of reputation. In the third stage, class, what is the question that you have to ask to yourself? That how well do our customers believe and trust us? Trust is going to play a big role throughout this session and throughout the business. Trust plays a greater role in business. In the business context, in the business scenario, your customers should believe you and they should trust you. So the 4 tricks of sales are build trust, transaction of value, right? Then there should be value-based selling. Selling should only be based on certain values, ethics and principles. It should not like that somebody has created the product and you just have to sell it. You're selling it. No, it should be value-based selling. For example, you have created a software, right? And you showed that software to the customer. So tell the customer that how this software can save 10 crores of your client, of your customer. So if you show your customer that this software can save the 10 crores of your client, then client is willing to pay at least 10% of 10 crores. Right? That is, maybe he is ready to pay you 10 lakhs because you are giving him a profit of 10 CR. Next, reciprocation is also important in sales. Usually car salesmen, use these tricks. If you go to a car showroom, they give you some small gifts. And if you accept this gift, if you accept that particular gift, there are very high chances that you'll buy the car. Last one is damaging admission. If your product has got some malfunction, some bad feature, or maybe there is some shortcoming, please admit it, tell it to your client. That is what we call sales, value-based selling. Build trust and make your customer believe on you. Because people are not going to buy unless they believe or trust you. So how you are going to build the trust? The question is, let's say tomorrow you are going to be employees, entrepreneurs, right? So how are you going to build the trust? You have to get the social proof. Maybe for a business, you could get a recommendation from a key influencer. If you really want to build a trust, you could get the recommendation from an influencer. Second, get that 5-star 100 5-star ratings or 5-star reviews on Amazon or other e-commerce websites. That is how you're building trust for your product. So if a business is unable to build up a social proof, let's say there is no social proof for that business, then you need to constantly perform on a consistent basis. You have to be around long enough for people. You have to be there in the market for the last 10, 15 years. Let's say somebody among you will come up and say that, ma'am, I cannot build up, or I failed to build up, or I don't want to build up a social proof. So in that case, your business should be there, for a long amount of time. It should be there around long enough for people to trust. Because the more trust a business has, the more sales the business make. And the last part, not the last, second last is value delivery. What do I need to ask yourself, class, in the value delivery? Am I exceeding the customer expectations? Like you remember, I showed you in the Apple iPod, they violated my customer expectation. Now I have created a product. I have got the attention, right? I have got the marketing. I have done the marketing. I have converted that into sales. Now it's the time to deliver that order. Am I going to deliver the value? So I promised my customer something. So am I just giving him what I promised, or am I going to exceed my customer's expectation? So there are three important things of value delivery, that is value stream. So all the steps from value creation to value delivery is called as value stream. For example, making your product, then packing, then storage, and then distribution. Then comes the second is distribution channel. So basically how you're going to deliver your value is of two types. Distribution channel is of two types. That is direct to user, where the company directly gives to the user. So in this case, the chances of growing is not that much. Or it could be third party. That is, distribution is through multiple channels. That is retailers, wholesalers, distributors. Then it comes to the user. There could be a risk of actually, losing your brand value, losing your brand image. But then you grow very quickly in this particular second distribution channel. There could be a risk of reputation, but then you're going to grow quickly. Third, you have to keep in your mind is that, is your business scalable? Let's say tomorrow you plan to extend or expand your business. Is the process easy to duplicate? You check for the scalability of your plan, right? If you plan to grow your business, you check for the scalability of your service, your plan, or your product. If your product is a plan, definitely. Then I'll give you an example. 10 years ago, a company named as Zappos. If you placed an order 10 years ago for a company named as Zappos, you would have received a pleasant surprise. Now you must be thinking that, is pleasant surprise means some gift? No, I don't mean that. By pleasant surprise, I mean the shoes you order would have shown up the next day unexpectedly. Let's say usual delivery time is 4 to 5 days, right? So 10 years ago, if you had ordered from Zappos.com, your shoes would have turned up the next day. So Zappos was not advertising this free, expedited shipping. They were not advertising this free expedited shipping because they knew that this surprise element would come from exceeding your customer's expectation. You exceed your customer's expectation, and it would be far more valuable if they had advertised it earlier. Then the expectations would not have exceeded so much. So customer expectations would be high enough for the customer to purchase in the first place. Like when I'm making a purchase, when I'm making a relationship for the first time with the business, then my expectations would be very high for the first time. But once I have made the purchase, the performance of that particular offering, be it product, service, it must surpass my expectation, right? For the first time, no doubt I'm going to a business, I'm going to have very high expectations from that offering. But once that purchase is made, the performance must surpass my expectations. So if you want the customer to be satisfied, if you want that customer should come back and buy from you again and again, right? Recommend your business, your service to others, your friends. So definitely one way is to exceed customer expectations is to build highly efficient systems. Please do build highly efficient systems. Deliver high quality products in a fast and reliable manner like Zappos did with just 1 day shipping. Fast and reliable. Note down these words. They are very important for any business. Fast and reliable. Another way, let's say one way is this one, you exceed customers' expectations like Zappos did. Another way, you have exceptional customer service, right? It's simply the best. What do I mean by that? I'll give you an example. A customer service representative at Zappos, she noticed that a customer ordered a pair of shoes and that pair of shoes were out of stock. Right, those pair of shoes were out of stock. So that customer service representative went to the rival store. That customer service representative went to the rival store, purchased the shoes and delivered them to the customer. My God, exceptional customer service. Now that's exceptional service, right? So at the end of the day, let's say if you promise to deliver in 5 days and if the product reaches to you in 2 days, that is more than my expectation. That's very good in terms of value delivery, right? And this is what we call value delivery. It should be there in every business and it should always be there so that customers are happy, they are satisfied, they should come back to us, they should return to us, and they should recommend our business to others. And the last part is finance. The final part of every business is finance. And what is the question that I need to ask here in the last part? Are we making more money than we are spending? Are our income more than our expenses? Are we making more money than we are spending? If it is not the case, please, if this is not the case, that is, I'm not making more money than I'm spending, then reduce the expenditure in one of the 4 parts that I discussed earlier. So, If you produce something of greater perceived value, in that case, you can definitely have your income more than your expenses. So no matter all your four elements, value creation, marketing, sales, and value delivery, how good, how incredible, how splendid, how delightful they are. If there is no profit, your business will close one day. So what are the two ways to manage this? Please reduce expenses in the other four elements as I just now shared. The second one, create more value for your customer so that you can charge more from your customers. Start creating more value because ultimately you want profits. You want your income to be greater than your expenses. So start creating more value and start charging your customers more. And ultimately they should be happy to pay you more. Right? As I gave you the example of Apple. So ultimately, if I quickly sum up in a nutshell, what you have to remember in your mind, value creation, it's very important to do the market research and then you do the value creation. The important parameters are convenience and high fidelity. Under convenience, it should be quick, flexible, reliable and easy. And then high fidelity, I mean attractive look, emotional attachment and high social status. Then marketing my product has to be remarkable, it has to be unexpected, there has to be a call to action, there has to be something which is going to grab my eyeballs. If I talk about sales, it's all about trust. So people are only going to buy from trusted sources. In that case, even the brand image, the brand reputation is very important. Secondly, brand building takes time. So get social proof for your business. Give high quality customer service. Then if I talk about value delivery, your customers will become your marketeers. Word of mouth publicity is really very, it has grown by leaps and bounds. So customers become marketeers when you deliver higher value than their expectation. As I just shared in the case of Zappos or Amazon, let's say they have promised you to deliver in 5 days and they have delivered in just 2 days. So that means you're exceeding your customers' expectation. So customers can become marketeers when you deliver higher value than their expectation. In case of finance, your cash flow must be maintained to grow business. Your cash in should be greater than cash out. So according to author, a business is an entity which create or provide something of value. Business का मतलब होता है you are creating something, you are providing something of value. So value creation, what people want and what exactly people want, you are delivering them, you are making a product according to the needs and wants of the people, exactly matching their needs and wants. So that is why market research is necessary. Then once you have done the market research, you have created a product that is going to exactly match the needs and wants of the people, grab their attention, right? Attract attention, create a demand for your product and use that attention. Once you have grabbed their eyeballs, once you have attracted their attention, it's time to sell your product. Then once you have got the order, once you have decided to sell your product, you should deliver what you have promised. At least this is the basic minimum criteria. You should deliver what you have promised, but if you are exceeding your customer's expectation, that is the best. In case of sales, don't forget to do the social proof or getting a recommendation from an influencer. And while doing all these things of value creation, marketing, sales and value delivery, make sure to generate revenue, to keep the business operating. Your business should always be in an operating mode. So you should be able to generate revenue while doing all these things. So earn to a level to make the investment worthwhile. That is what we could say in finance. Earn to a level to make your investment worthwhile. And class, there is an important thing at the end before I end this session. According to author, Although there are many things or concepts that you can learn, like there are a lot of concepts that you can learn, but this framework, this 5-part framework is same for every business. And if you keep this framework in your mind, you can take any business to new heights. Keep this framework in your mind and you can take any business to new heights. Just remember one thing. This framework is not going to give you the answer of all the hundreds and thousands of questions that you will get while doing business. Let's say you have started doing business and you started getting hundreds and thousands of questions. So don't, assume that this framework will give you the answers of each and every question that you are going to get while doing your business. But it will help you to ask the right questions. हर जवाब नहीं मिलेगा, बट सही सवाल पूछना आ जाएगा अगर आपने ये 5-part framework सीख लिया. You'll become the business tycoon, right? It will help you to ask the right questions and eventually it will lead you to the right answer. अगर सही सवाल पूछने आ गए तो eventually this framework will help you to ask the right questions, and eventually if you are able to ask the right questions, it will lead you to the right answers. So before I end this session class, just do 3 things: like, comment and share. Complete the YT assignment, that is a YouTube assignment. I have given the 3 questions, very easy. What is a 5-part framework in the personal MBA? Define each part in just 1 line, short and crisp. Value creation, marketing, sales, value delivery, finance. Explanation of every part in just 1 line. In which company was the author working? Very easy. You all can answer these questions if you have watched the session from start to end. Lastly, maximize your CAT, another MBA entrance test course with Unacademy. So there is a new launch, 6 months iconic subscription now. The 6 months iconic subscription is also there. Then limited period offer, prepare with 2 years iconic subscription. They have reduced the prices. Then again there is a new launch for 18 months, that is a plus subscription. Again you could see that. Then CAT plus, if you choose the campus placement, that is IT jobs combo offer. That will help you to prepare for CAT while you prepare for your campus placement. Now this is something you can prepare for your campus placement as well as for CAT. So subscribe for both the categories, 12 months, 6 months. This is the price. Don't forget to use the code Kaura Live. Everybody can type the code on their screen in the live chat. Please, if anybody is still having any doubts, feel free to discuss, join the Telegram and start getting the maximum benefit. Enroll now. There are a lot of batch courses. Go ahead, enroll yourself in all these batch courses. Don't forget to use the code Kaura Live. And at the end, let us read and let us dance. These 2 things never do any harm to the world. It's said by Voltaire. So let's read and let's dance. Today, without doing MBA, we have learned, we have mastered the art and science of doing business, the essentials of business, the 5-part framework of business, and I'm pretty sure this is going to help us to improve our knowledge of business, the jargon of business, and this is not just a superficial kind of a thing. We have actually, make sure we have actually learned the insights about each of the 5 elements that we have studied. So I'll take your leave. This is Shruti Kaura class signing up for today. Stay tuned. I'll come up for more videos which will make sure that you will become an expert in reading, in business, and in understanding a lot of difficult concepts of life. Anyway, thanks for watching. Adios and gracias. Take care, all of you, all across the world. Perfectly fine. All right.